63 in Madison, and JunikerJewelry.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
If it feels like the world's gone a little crazy lately, you're not wrong. They say parents should have a voice. But what happens when no one's listening? Forget the noise, the narratives, and the nonsense. It's time to have real conversations, stand up, speak out, and shine a light on what's really happening inside our schools, our systems, and our government, and what it really means for your family. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show, where we believe in truth over talking points, facts over feelings, and the courage to say what others won't. Because when it comes to our kids, silence is not an option. Only in America, dreaming.
Welcome in to the Lindsey Beckham Show. Happy Monday, everyone. We are live here at the WYAB studios. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, you can find us on your FM radio dial 1039, and then also streaming worldwide. The audio versions of all of our WYAB shows, you can find those at WYAB.com. Everybody's getting their week started off right. I wanted to mention they have released the arrangements for State Representative Price Wallace, who I talked about last week, who we very unexpectedly lost. Very, very sad situation. Praying for his wife, Cindy, their two daughters, and their son. His visitation will be tomorrow from 10 to 12. It will be in Florence at the Bella Wood venue. It will be immediately followed by the service at 12. And then he will be buried in the Mendenhall City Cemetery in Mendenhall. So if anyone was wondering when his celebration of life would be, that will be tomorrow. Of course, I talked about him last week, but he is going to be so very missed. One of the good ones, definitely one of the good ones, and just seems he was taken way too soon. Governor Reeves did this morning post that Representative Wallace's commitment to Mississippi will always be remembered, and he has made the announcement that to honor his legacy, he's directed flags to be lowered at half-staff from sunrise to sunset tomorrow in Rankin County and in Simpson County. So if you see the flags at half-mast tomorrow, that is the reason why. It is to honor our Mississippi State Representative Price Wallace's life and his commitment to making Mississippi a better place. So continue to pray for his family. Again, this is not something that you get over quickly. You don't just grieve for a day and then things go back to normal. So they will stay in my prayers for the days, weeks, months, and years to come, because they have a new normal now. And I have not talked to one single elected official who has not spoken so highly of their relationship with Representative Wallace and what they know about him and will remember about him. So again, continue to keep them in your prayers. Tomorrow, I will have Gina on the show from Fight the Good Fight. This Thursday evening, they are having their first annual fundraiser. Our Attorney General Lynn Fitch will be the keynote speaker. It will take place in Brandon at Archer Farms. I will post the information about this event in case anyone would like to attend. It's going to be an evening of faith, hope, and community as we come together to support the mission of Fight the Good Fight and fight the synthetic drug crisis, the fentanyl crisis that is killing our children across this country. I have 2 personal friends who have lost children to these synthetic types of drugs or to fentanyl. And I know everyone seems to not be able to agree on the way to fight the drug war. But one thing I know is that you cannot talk to your children enough about how dangerous this is. So I'm excited to have a conversation with Gina from this organization. She has also lost a child. One pill can kill. And you hear that, crack is whack. Don't do, I mean, hear these catchphrases and this is your brain on drugs. And it's kind of, people laugh at that, but it's so true. One pill can kill. And we're going to talk to Gina tomorrow. She can attest to that. Christmas morning, her family's life was turned upside down when they found her son no longer breathing after one pill that someone gave him at the gym. Of course, my friend Cordy, her son Parker, he was also killed after taking some synthetic type of LSD that a friend had given him. And I love these mamas who fight back. Even though their child was taken way too soon, they see the need. They don't want their children's death to be in vain. My friend Ann, her son Weston, who was peer pressured by a group of friends into trying fentanyl. And bam, he was gone. And these mamas want to make a difference. This is something that matters to them. This is very real. It is taking our children. It is killing children across this country. And we got to do more to combat that. We've got to be more proactive. Of course, securing our border was a big part of that, from stopping the fentanyl from coming across. But talking to your children, educating them, because this is very real. This is a very real situation, a crisis that is taking our young people from us entirely too soon. And speaking of young people being taken from us entirely too soon, today I want to talk about a couple, Jesse and Ashley Ridgway. Now, they call themselves an influencer couple. I really hate that term, influencer. I'm not quite sure who they're trying to influence, but they have made every detail and aspect of their life very, very public. I think his YouTube channel is pretty successful. I don't remember exactly how many followers, but I know it's a lot. So I think they were trying for a while to get pregnant. Finally, they find out Ashley's pregnant and they announce this news. Again, everything is public. Everything is filmed. Some moments are meant to be private. And we've completely gotten away from that in this society we live in today. So when they saw something that looked suspicious, this couple opted for an amniocentesis, which in and of itself is a risky procedure. Of course, they filmed when they get the results back from this amniocentesis, which showed that their child did, in fact, have Down syndrome, or was going to be born with Down syndrome. Now, in reading about this couple, the decisions that they've made, I came across many comments from people saying, yeah, that's what they told my parents as well, and I'm here and I'm completely healthy. They don't always get it right. I don't think you can ever fully know whether or not a child has Down syndrome until you give birth. So I watched this cringe-worthy video of this couple sitting in the floor and opening up the email where they have the results of this test, and they see that this child is going to have Down syndrome, and she's hysterically crying, and he's trying to comfort her. And then they talk about, now we have some big decisions to make. Well, they made a decision. They made a decision to end their baby's life because this baby was going to have Down syndrome. They made the decision to murder their own child that they tried for, that they prayed for. Well, I don't know that these people pray, to be honest. It's mind-boggling, and it has caused an uproar, and they have caught a ton of hate for it. Now, I don't know why they're surprised or why they are just so hurt by the comments. You killed your baby. You murdered your baby. Of course, people are going to have something to say about it. Before you ever had the chance to lay your eyes on this child who was knit together in this woman's womb by our Creator, fearfully and wonderfully made, they decided he wasn't going to be good enough. They didn't want this baby anymore. At what point do we say, if you can make a decision like that, then you're not ready to be a parent? Then we need to make sure that we do something to stop this couple from reproducing anytime soon. That was one thing that's caught me off guard in their statement. They even claim we're excited to try again. I'm so glad you can be excited to try again right after murdering your baby. Are you kidding me? Disgusting. You're a disgusting human being. What if this child was born? What if they're raising this child and then this child has an accident of some sort and can no longer walk or is in a wheelchair, is handicapped in some way, shape, or form? Are you just going to throw it out? Are you going to go into his bedroom at night and suffocate and murder him because he's now disabled? Caller, you're on the air. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. I was wanting to ask you, did you enjoy your little thank you that I brought Friday?
I did. I wasn't sure. Thank you. I was not sure who brought it by, but thank you so much.
Yeah, I figured you might like that because I liked your show real big time Thursday. But talking about these folks doing this, these people living on social media, that's something I think all these people have gone to. They're more worried about their followers, their likes, their clicks.
Mm-hmm. They're addicted to it. It's an addiction.
It is. And I feel these cell phones are some of the worst things ever invented.
And they're just handed to our children entirely too soon, and then they're brainwashed this way. This is how they work. Their serotonin levels are boosted when they see these clicks and views and likes, and it becomes their whole identity.
That's it. And I mean, they started the kids back. Well, I told you about a little link about some of the stuff going on in the schools about what Paul Harvey said in 1965 about if I were the
devil. Absolutely. That's one of my favorite.
I've let a preacher listen to that. And he was that's exactly what's going on nowadays, still today. And these people need to wake up. I'm like you, they're just hung on this stuff and they're worried about their clicks and likes.
Yeah, absolutely. I 1,000,000% agree.
But that's what I was wanting to tell you. But like I say, I'm just glad you liked your little thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. I do. I appreciate that. I really do.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, that's what I was wanting to say. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Talk to you again.
All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. As he brought me by an American 250 Flag Friday. So I love that. Of course, y'all know I love celebrating America. We got to take a break, but y'all stay with us. There's lots more to talk about when it comes to this couple and their decision to kill their unborn baby. Y'all stay with us. WYAB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back. On The Lindsey Beckham Show. We will be right back.
103.9 WYAB.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable. And he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit AmericansForProsperity.org. Be a part of positive change at AmericansForProsperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
It's road trip season again. Is your vehicle ready? Take your vehicle to Green's Tire and Auto on Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland to get it in tip-top shape before you head out of town. Don't get stranded while you're away from home. Preventative maintenance is their specialty at Green's Tire and Auto. And if your check engine light is already on, then Green's Tire and Auto can tell what's wrong and get it fixed. Before you start your road trip, take your car to Green's Tire and Auto, Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland.
Need to ship something fast, print something now, or wrap the perfect gift? Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt, your one-stop shop for all major shipping carriers. We pack and ship with care, offer private mailbox rentals, copy services, create and print banners, print your photos, lamination, binding, and secure document shredding. We always have a notary available, and we do gift wrapping too. Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt across from Callaway's or online at mailroomgluckstadt.com. Stop in today and get it all done in one place.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Attention citizens, the call is going out across all of 103.9 WYAB. Each Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., General Bob's Swap Shop summons all able-bodied listeners to buy, sell, and trade. Sign up by calling the phone line and joining the campaign where your stuff becomes the hero of the hour. No shillings, no coins, no enlistment fees of any kind to peddle your personal items. Report for duty each Tuesday at 9 a.m. right here on 103.9 WYAB. General Bob needs you and your stuff.
From Mississippi, where faith, family, and freedom still matter. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show, live here in the WYAB studios. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. I would love to hear from you. This has been a very controversial, hot topic that I'm talking about this afternoon. It's definitely taken up my algorithm for sure. 601-879-0002 is the number if you would like to call into the show today. You can also join in our online chat. I see several comments there that we will get to. Then you can text the Lindsey Beckham Show text line, 601-879-4648, if you would like to text in. Now, we are talking about this couple, this YouTube influencer couple, Jesse and Ashley Ridgway, who after finding out that their baby would be born with Down syndrome, they chose to abort. Now, they've gotten a ton of backlash. And here we go playing the victim. They actually have a dog who's in kidney failure that they've spent an outrageous amount of money on. How do I know this? Because they record everything. Everything, every detail about their lives goes on social media. So yes, the public can see how much you care for your animal, the amount of money that you have spent to prolong your animal's life when he got sick. Yet how quickly you decided to throw your unborn baby away because you thought he might be born less than perfect. It is so infuriating. That's the devil. It's just pure evil. Pure evil. I think of my friend Addie. She lives in New York. She was pregnant. Little girl that she named Piper Joy. And she found out Piper was going to have Down syndrome. Addie had a very tough pregnancy. I believe they even did a blood transfusion. They even gave Piper a blood transfusion in utero, doing any and everything to save her baby's life, because it didn't matter what disease or condition or disability her baby was born with. Well, she knew what is true, that this child was created in the image of God and is a blessing. Now, unfortunately, Piper did not live very long after being born. We're talking a few days, I believe. But Addie had done so much research concerning Down syndrome and Down syndrome children that what she did next is truly remarkable. She adopted a Down syndrome baby. She talked with the mother, the birth mother, at length, numerous times, and at times the birth mother was leaning towards aborting this baby. His name is Judah Finn, and he's precious. I told her last night, I messaged her and I said, just seeing your pictures and videos that you post of Judah make me happier. If you know anyone with Down syndrome, then you probably know this as I do. They are some of the happiest, most loving, most joyful people on the planet. How do we measure what someone's life is worth? And then I think, what if this was years ago before we had this extensive, intricate medical testing that we have today, and you don't know that your baby is going to be born with Down syndrome until the baby is born? Then do you just throw it out like it's trash? Is that what you're going to do? My friend Anja texted me last night and we talked for a little while. Now, she's the mom of a special needs son. It's not Down syndrome, and don't get me to lying. I would tell you the wrong thing, but he's going to have to be taken care of for the rest of his life. Again, one of the most joyful little boys, Hershey, who I just adore. And she can tell you what a blessing he's been to her and her husband and his siblings. His life is not worthless just because he's not normal compared to, I don't even know what normal is, to be honest. Who's normal? What is normal? But she reminded me last night, Joey Fillingane, Senator Joey Fillingane and Senator Jennifer Branning back in 2020 during our legislative session, they passed a law here in Mississippi that banned, now of course we don't have abortion here at all anymore since the overturning of Roe, but it banned disability abortion. So you could not kill your child, you could not have an abortion and kill your baby just because the baby's not going to be the sex that you wanted. Or the race. Now, they put the race part in there because sometimes there are, I guess, grandparents that are going to be upset about the race of a baby. You cannot have an abortion or kill a baby because it's not the right sex or race, or because this baby could have a disability. It was called the Life Equality Act. It was a big battle to even get that through the legislature because people didn't believe that was actually happening. Now, while I think it's ridiculous to share every second of your life on social media the way that this couple does, or to call yourself an influencer, it has brought a lot of awareness in the past 4 or 5 days, especially, to this issue. It is happening. It does happen. And a lot of times, the medical community advises you to do so. You know, this man, Jesse, he's talking about the procedure and how his wife was sedated. You know who wasn't sedated? You know who felt every bit of that pain? Their unborn baby, who didn't ask to be put in the womb of this woman. Innocent. Completely and totally innocent. Never got a chance to take its first breath. because it didn't meet up to the standards its own parents thought he should. And I'm saying he, I'm not sure if it was a boy or a girl. I'll tell you, reading the comments and seeing the pushback this couple has been getting actually kind of restores my faith in humanity a little bit. That we're not all monsters. The majority of people look at this and think, how could you? How could you? Your own child. So this is something that does happen. This is something that the medical community does recommend at times, at least some of the medical community. I'm sure not all. If they do try again, I'm going ahead and praying for that baby. Because again, what if something happens after birth? What if there's a car wreck? What if a limb needs to be amputated for some reason? What if there's an accident and the child becomes confined to a wheelchair? Do you just walk away from your baby? I can't fathom it. My brain doesn't work that way. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here. WYAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Back here, WYAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable. And he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. 2 people are being sought in connection with a mass shooting over the weekend in Toledo, Ohio. ABC's Pierre Thomas.
When the shooting stops, 12 people caught in the crossfire, ranging in age from 14 to 61. 2 initially listed in critical condition.
Everybody trying to find their kids.
There was quite a few people that need help. You know, it's a crazy sight to see.
The shooters fleeing the scene.
That at an annual festival. The New York Knicks watch party outside Madison Square Garden is canceled for Game 3 of the NBA Final because President Trump is planning to attend the games, says the NYPD. Security is being boosted by federal and local law enforcers. Iran and Israel say they have stopped attacks after President Trump told Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu not to retaliate for the latest Iranian attacks. An offshore magnitude 7.8 earthquake hit the southern Philippines today, killing at least 35 people, injuring more than 140 others, officials say. This is ABC News.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, priced to fit your budget. Stop by Pops Auto Sales today, where fair prices and superior service leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Or go to popsautosalesllc.com and browse our inventory and get pre-approved for zero-down financing with approved credit, with service contracts and warranties available. And guys, our truck inventory is one of the largest for any independent dealer, period. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection. I've been selling real estate now for well over 30 years, and I typically use Chadwick Home Inspectors. And Chad has done many, many home inspections for me.
They are pretty much from roof to foundation. Most people are surprised at just how thorough these home inspections can be. Been working with Rita almost a decade now. Very rarely does she let a deal fall apart. She can usually find a way to negotiate where both parties are satisfied.
RitaJensen.net.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
From Jacksontown to the radio, this is the Lindsey Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the WYAB studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. 601-879-0002 is the number if you would like to call in to the show today or text in to the Lindsey Beckham Show text line. That is 601-879-4648. We have been breaking down this story, Jesse and Ashley Ridgway, these YouTube content creators who found out that their baby would be born more than likely with Down syndrome, and so they decided to abort their unborn child. Now, it seems like this story has just really caught like wildfire. Everyone seems to be talking about this. Now, it seems as if the whole world is mourning the loss of this baby. It seems like this couple is mourning their negative publicity. I saw that posted somewhere earlier this morning, and I thought, well, that couldn't be more perfect, more true of what we are seeing play out. Because again, now they are taking to social media like they do with everything else to talk about how mean people are being to them. And how everyone seems to have something to say about this. I saw a post a mom with a baby that has Down syndrome. She said, I've been thinking a lot today. The truth is, none of us get to choose what challenges our children will face in life. Some diagnoses aren't discovered before birth, some are. Some disabilities can be seen on an ultrasound. Some won't be diagnosed until years later. None of us are promised a child who will never struggle. What I do know is that a diagnosis doesn't tell you how much joy a child will bring, how deeply they'll be loved, or how profoundly they'll change the people around them. She said she was terrified when she received her son's diagnosis, not because of who he is, but because of what she didn't know. She said, now I know, and that's why I share him. course, again, I've also seen so many comments, so many people who have said, they told me my baby was going to be born with Down syndrome. My baby was born perfectly healthy. Or so many people who have commented and said, yes, they told my parents I was going to be born with Down syndrome, and they got it wrong. Sometimes doctors like to play God, but he's the one that holds all of our futures. Read some of your comments in the live stream here. I cannot say all medical workers are frauds, but many are. Denying one's chance at life is evil to the core. I absolutely agree. First, Dr. Dead on YouTube. Harvey says, my cousin had a Down syndrome child and raised him with so much love and compassion. He lived a great life. It was short, but it was great. Harvey also says abortion is murder and evil. My wife got cancer and couldn't get pregnant. We were not able to have children. And then people like this just throw them away like they're trash. And even if this couple didn't want to live through the struggle, I guess, of raising a child with Down syndrome, there's so many people out there like my friend Addie who would absolutely love to have adopted this child. People pray to adopt Down syndrome babies. I'm not making that up. Probably because they are so joyful. I have never met anyone who has been around a child with Down syndrome who doesn't come away from that a better person. The judgment that is coming to this world is going to be so great, and the people that are still going, and there are people that are still going to deny Jesus Christ. Very true, Harvey. Mr. Dillygaff said California has 9th-month abortions, just in case. Several states do, actually. Several states have abortions that they will perform right up until birth. And that's my thing, too, is how as a mom, when you have carried a child for 9 months, when you have felt this baby move inside of you, how at that moment, right before birth, are you able to rip their limbs apart and murder your own baby? Harvey says, speaking of the baby as he, when you do not know the sex, is proper English. Everyone needs to speak English again. Amen. Harvey said, we went to adopt and had no money. They told us $10,000 just to walk in the door. Absolutely. And that is a problem. We do need to make adoption more affordable because there are so many people who want to have that opportunity. Will says, people who celebrate this kind of behavior should remember that whatever you sow, you will also reap. It will come back to you with interest. That's right. I do think I completely agree that we do have a problem with adoption in this country. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way that we can make that process work more smoothly, become more affordable for parents out there who truly desire a baby and don't have that opportunity, especially when we have couples like these who find it so easy. Now, they said this was a tough decision, and after much thought, they didn't make this decision. They didn't take this lightly. You could have fooled me. You could have fooled me. It didn't seem to take them very long after getting the results to go ahead and follow through with this procedure to end this baby's life. But then to put every single bit of it, every single detail, recording it all and putting it all out there, and to then think you're not going to get pushback. There's still some good people in the world. And I think if you have any kind of heart and you hear this story, you're a little disgusted. Maybe even a little angry. I know it gets me fired up. So I don't know what's next for this influencer couple, but they didn't ask my opinion. But that doesn't ever stop me from giving it, now does it? My suggestion to them would be go touch some grass. Get off social media for a minute. Go do some praying. That's for dang sure. This poor baby will never have a chance at life, unfortunately. We got to take our last break of the day. Y'all stay with us. I'm going to tell you about the snake grabbing rodeo and how their fundraiser went when we get back right here. WYAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Stay tuned. Tuned.
1039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to ring partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Ream and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Detroit-style pizza has its own rules. We learned them, then we made it our own. Johnny's Pizza House is Detroit-style pizza. Deep pan crust, crispy edges, your choice of toppings, then finished with the pizza sauce swirled right on top. Mouthwatering cheesy goodness. Order online at johnnysph.com and build your own Detroit-style pizza. Detroit-style the Johnny's way. Order a taste of Detroit this summer. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Let Shelter be your shield. Come see me, Jamie Creel, 601-992-6000.
From Mississippi, where faith, family, and freedom still matter. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the last few minutes here of the Lindsey Beckham Show on this Monday afternoon. I enjoyed myself so much Saturday evening at the celebration of Mississippi's music and the 250th anniversary or birthday of our great country. It was presented by Americans for Prosperity over at Mississippi Christian University, formerly known as Mississippi College. But the music was incredible. We honored country music and blues, rock and roll, gospel. So much rich music history right here in the state of Mississippi. Senator Jeremy England spoke. Somebody made a really good point, a really funny point. They said, how funny is it that this is the celebration of the 250th birthday of America, and the senator that's speaking, his last name is England. I had not even thought of that, but I had to pick at Jeremy about that. Thankful that we live in a free country, a country that we are able to come together and celebrate, a country where we are able to use our talents and our artistic abilities to create music. If you missed it, you really, truly missed out. I know they did record it. I'm not sure if it will be uploaded, but it was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And then, of course, Uncle Jimmy Nichols, who was on the show with me last week, his snake grabbing rodeo took place over the weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They had 2 beneficiaries this year, a young 2-year-old girl who was born with a disease that's going to require lots of surgeries as she grows, and then a former Marine veteran. They did raise $100,000 for this little girl's family and enough to build this former Marine, a modular home. Now, I've heard some people fussing or complaining that the recipients of this year's fundraiser were not who they would have picked. They've said that this former Marine, his family has money, and then they've said that the dad of this little girl is not a good person. Look, I was told by a very wise man a long time ago that when God tells you to give, you give, and what happens after that is not your concern. And I know Jimmy, and I know that he works tirelessly to find the most deserving and the people who need help the most. I admire everything he does. He works on this event all year long. And I think it is very impressive that they're able to raise that kind of money for people who need it. It's all the time we've got for today. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. I will see you then. Bye.